I've just left my apartment in Diglis and I'm on a 10 to 15 minute walk to Worcester Cathedral. At Worcester Cathedral they've got a free lunchtime organ recital. So having lived in Worcester for 4 years and never been to an organ recital, I thought today would be the day to go. Luckily it's a lovely sunny day, although it is autumn, as you can see from the trees where the leaves are turning. And I'll be walking alongside the River Severn. It's just a few paces through this car park and we'll be alongside the river. One thing about the River Severn and living in Worcester, as I've discovered, that it floods multiple times a year, and it particularly seems to flood on the footpath this side of the river. So probably over a dozen times it's flooded this last winter, and it just makes it impassable, as you will see in a moment, because I'm going to show you a picture I took during the flooded time. Yes, and of course every time it floods, when the flood recedes, it tends to leave a lot of mud for the council to clear up. This is also the point where the canal that runs from Worcester to Birmingham joins in with the Severn River. It's quite a long stretch. I think it's 30 miles, and you can see the locks here. I'll show them in a moment. Yeah, so there's a couple of locks here right at the bottom, but the signpost could tell us more information. What does it say? Yes, 58 locks to get to Birmingham. Yeah, I don't fancy that myself, but I'm sure people do it. Although the organ recital at the Worcester Cathedral is free, I'm sure there is a collection afterwards for donations. And unfortunately you're not allowed to record or video the performance, so I will take a couple of photos before and after the performance and include those in this video. In the distance you can see St Andrew's Spire. Locally it's called the Glover's Needle. We're just approaching Sea Cadets HQ on the right. I've never actually seen them put boats in the river, but I assume they must. But this is their headquarters, and they seem to have a life buoy and maybe a defibrillator on the wall here. So yeah, it's a good. Certainly, I've seen people arriving for meetings there, but I guess they do put boats in the water, but I've never actually seen that. On the right here there's a block of apartments called Harry Davis Court, and I think they're a combination of privately owned properties and ones that are available for rent, so it's a good spot to overlook the river. It's not where I am, but yeah, it looks like a nice place. There seem to be some works going on across the river, which is pretty unusual. A couple of lorries, and I can see flashing lights on them, so I'm sure what they're doing. Maybe I'll have a walk around tomorrow and see what they're up to. We've had an exceptionally dry summer this 2025, and the river has been very low, but just over the last week or so we've had a fair amount of rain upstream somewhere, and the level of the river has risen, and there's quite a stream on it, although nowhere near flood level, thankfully. And it does mean that the river is sort of a dirty brown colour right now. On the right of the path here on this riverbank are a row of terraced houses, and I think it's called Diglis Parade. Many of these are privately owned, but they do tend to flood. Even despite this wall here, the river goes over the top of it, and they tend to be flooded every year. One or two of the properties are holiday lets, so you can, in the summer period when hopefully it isn't flooding, you can rent them for a week or two and explore the river and enjoy the scenes in the city of Worcester. A little while ago, this massive hydrangea bush was magnificent, but I think it's just gone past its prime now, with autumn setting in and a few cold nights appearing. After the terrace of houses on the right here, there is the Diglis Hotel, which is a very nice place to stay for a week or so in the summer, and I'm sure a lot of people do it. Also, with the hotel, there is a bar area and a terrace where on a lovely sunny evening you can get your beer and something to eat if you wish, and sit up on this terrace overlooking the river in the sunshine. It's really nice. And just the other side of these steps to the right, there's a garden area with picnic benches as well. So yeah, very nice spot to spend an hour or so on a summer's evening. We're just approaching the King's School boathouse, which is a unique looking design, and where they must keep their 8s, 4s and sculling boats. Yep, it takes me back 60 years or so to when I was a member of the Twickenham Rowing Club. Yeah, also on the steps which they use to launch the 8s, it's a popular spot for some of the swans to stay. There's a row of individual conker trees here, and yeah, they seem to be past their best with the leaves turning brown, and I guess they'll soon be dropping. But of course they will be dropping conkers as well, so that will please the lads in the neighbourhood. As we approach this area, I'm going to show you a picture that I took when the river was partially flooded, just to show the difference. And yep, it's quite significant. The tree is leafless because it was in the winter. The river was only partially flooded, so at least I could get so far before I had to stop. And then we can see the council out having their clear-up session, which of course they had to do around the whole riverbank, and it took them days. This is where we see the entrance towards, or the steps towards the cathedral, and on the wall here are the plaques marking the various flood levels over the many different times it's flooded. And we walk through here up the steps, and then this takes us into the gardens of the cathedral once we cross this road here. The grass is very patchy and dry, but this is not surprising because we've had an extremely dry summer with very little rain, so it's not normally like this, it's normally lush and green. This last archway takes us up the steps into the cathedral grounds. I wonder what this covered gateway is for. I can only guess. It seems to lead out towards the river, but at least 10 feet, 12 feet above the actual level of the pathway there. This is where we get our first view of the cathedral, which I'll be attending today. But I'm going to show a couple of photographs that I've taken previously, one from across the river, so you can see the full extent of the cathedral. This was in last autumn, I think. Also, you can see it from the cricket ground at New Road, where I've been quite a few times to watch some fantastic games of cricket. But unfortunately, yeah, it also floods. This is the cricket oval when it's been flooded. It flooded 8 times last winter. Heaven knows what it's like for the groundsman. As we go up this last set of steps before arrival and entrance for the organ recital, which starts at 12:15 on this autumn day. Yeah, it's good that we're almost there, and I'm looking forward to hearing the cathedral full of sound. We are approaching the cathedral, and Cathedral Square is just in sight, and just to the left of that is the High Street with all the shopping. And here we turn into the actual cathedral entrance, but as mentioned, I'm not allowed to record the concert, but I'm going to show you a few photographs that I took on this visit. So we sat in the choir And the red curtain you can see in the picture, the organist was playing behind that. This photo shows the two sets of pipes up high above us. You certainly get a feeling of grandeur and history when sitting in this cathedral. I enjoyed the concert. It was quite loud, and with the bass notes you could certainly feel the church and your chest resonating in sync. After the recital was over, I took a photograph of this other organ that's also in the church. I don't think they use it these days, but there's some information about it on this screen. Once I left the cathedral, I went across the road and went into a cafe, had a light lunch, and then walked down the high street because I wanted to get a couple of things from Marks and Spencer's food hall. I had really enjoyed my day. I enjoyed the organ recital and the short walk along the river, and of course I'll be walking back along the river once I get my items from Marks and Spencer's. We're just approaching the Guildhall on the left in Worcester, and there's a busker out playing on an electric guitar. Sounds like he's doing a reasonable job to me. I have tried playing the guitar myself, and I think you need years of practice in order to be anything like professional. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've certainly had a nice day, and the video will be good for me to look back on in years to come.